Thanks for tuning in, and thanks very much for your patience. I'm really sorry it's taken so long to get a post out. I've I've not stopped rendering. I've got so much stuff I need to show you. I've got Janet and Richard's residential orbs, which are quite remarkable and seem to respond to voice. I've also got photos from Aaron, who was at the Cleveland Air Show this year and was taking photos, close to 1,000 as a photographer. And some of the shots he took of an F-18 revealed an orb on a closer examination. And I've dug into that and found a few more. Also got Jimmy he took it in Walkertown, North Carolina, early February, February 4th, on a visit there. A fantastic plume kind of, I don't know what it is. Some pictures here and video. This took some rendering. I did the usual slow-mo and stuff and some enhancements. But then when I did it into frames and wanted to look what was inside and what was going on, that's where it got a bit big. And I got 30,000 frames off one short piece of the footage, which is, that's kind of normal, except to render what I needed to get from these images was taking 1,500 frames, was taking 10 hours. So 30,000 frames, it took a while to render that. But the results are absolutely remarkable. I'm just blown away with them. And also a little bit of debunk on it as well. Something that I thought was there, which looked astonishing, turns out to be something else. Well, yeah, and also I've never mentioned it. I've got exclusive footage from inside a Chris Bledsoe happening. I can't show you much on this, just a little bit of detail because I need clearance. But it's pretty spectacular, and you're going to love it. However, this post is going to be about something you might have seen on the news, scrolling around. It's popped up now and again. The 3i Atlas. Thought I had to have a look at this. So I went through pretty much, well, all the pictures I could find and GIFs and etc. right up to the ESA's last images before it disappeared. Yeah, it's important to say that the renderings images have enhanced and brought from different qualities from various photos, which are all, there's so many variables come into play. I hope you all understand that. What we're going to be looking at is kind of, well, it's as much information as I can get from the images they presented us, and using deep render techniques, enhancements, anything I can, levels, inversions, whatever there is that can pull out extra information for us to see. That's all I can do. Form and movement. Is there any extra cloud that we can't see on the other pictures? Any sort of resonance that's coming away? That kind of thing. And any other objects? And yeah, I think there is. Okay. Okay, so from them first images from Atlas, all the world's telescopes were directed to the point of this trajectory, which apparently came from the area of Sagittarius, 9 degrees off where the WOW signal first appeared in 1977. That massive signal that came and then there was nothing else. Indeed, that trajectory, I'd heard Brian Cox talking about it. It's absolutely like 1 in a million that it should come from deep space and be in such an alignment with our planets. It turned out to be one of the most remarkable things about it. The others are it's not behaving like a comet, giving off different gases. Its contents was different to what we've usually seen with interstellar objects. And this obviously is only the third one ever to enter our solar system. Also, this really interests me. It gave off, there was like an explosion or some kind of an eruption from it, and hundreds of objects were released, independently moving and multiplying by the hour, which is most unusual because most scientists were saying an impact, you get an eruption and then a dispersal. But this was kind of an eruption that keeps growing. And they were counting them by the days. And it ended up after 7 days, 4,000 of these objects. And I think it's up to 7,000 on the last count. This has taken me about 2 weeks to get this out, honestly. I should have posted it ages ago. So information has been coming in all the time. I'm going to get onto that a bit later after we've looked at these pictures. I've got so much information has been brought forward since this sighting. Spectrographs, spectral readings, wavelengths, analysis of the composition of it, all this stuff. So much information, a lot of it really complicated and very difficult to understand. So any attempt at me to try and explain it to you now would only make matters worse. Yeah, so where all the data and graphs are concerned, I'm putting links in the descriptions tab. So there's about half a dozen or so, and you can click on them and check them out for yourself and see if you can make anything of them. And funny enough, I was listening to Avi Loeb yesterday, and he said, borrowed a line from a bread track from 1971, if a picture paints 1,000 words. Got the data, but have a look at the pictures, because this is where your information is. Okay, this image was taken by Michael Yeager and Gerald Ryman, award-winning astrophotographers. In 2022, they won an award for this image. Fantastic image of a comet. This one they took in Namibia during an eclipse on the 7th September. Obviously, good chance for lack of light pollution. There we go. That's enhanced centre. You can see the difference between the two, between the sides. The stars are looking in a little better shape as well, so it gives you an indication what you're looking at is kind of what it should be. Obviously, we're not 100% on this, so we're just giving everything a good objective view. That's showing something in the middle. It's pulling out colours and forms, and shadows. Inversion. Can we see anything more in that? Great thing about this is, you can go right into the pictures that we all see locked into YouTube and Instagram and stuff. Definitely better. When you get in the spheres there, that's what I like. And I know, yeah, we're looking at something good. See that corona's extending around there. Anything in the middle though? So hard to tell, isn't it? That one's good. So pull that up a bit more. Definitely showing a centre, isn't it? That's just an example really of the spheres. There's some weird stuff going on there. There's before and after. I think I put these through different models. You should see it changing. Yeah, that's got some nice little structure things around there. What is that? Is that part of the... Yeah, different models. See the way that changed? Goes from... It's pulling out a strange blue light there. And then moves... Where's the next model? There. That's a different one. Oh, that's a good one. That's about as close as I am with that. I'd tend to go for that one. That's... You take your chance. This is a deep render. Let's see how this one comes through. It's about the maximum I can do with the image. And that's... Yeah, that's where we are. Okay. Terrific shot though. Let's go on to the next one. Right, this is a photo from Sphere X, which is a spectrophotometer. Measures water and carbon dioxide in the objects. This is one of mine. I've enhanced that and brought this centre out, inverted. Let's see what can come through. Because there's this measuring different aspects of the object, then it helps me try and enhance those different aspects. I can see something in the centre of that, definitely with that one. I'll pause some of these. And we go back to the original. This one. This was a strange one. I swear this was with the dimple. Phobos. possibly. So many have been misidentified. I don't know if you noticed. Loads of the top scientists are coming in through and saying, oh, that one I identified, Avi Loeb one, I identified as 3i, was in fact a moon. Really weird, that one, I don't know. But you see, it's got the shape, hasn't it? It's got the corona, or the apparent corona on it. Massive pixels there. Yeah, more here. There's that one again. Doesn't really show us anymore, does it? That's an interesting one. And that's inverted as well. Let's have a look back. That shape there. Wow. It's getting that from there, is it? Heavier shape. Now, that was where it was on the other one, wasn't it? But anyway, on to the next. Right, this is the footage from the Rubin Observatory in Chile regarding that swarm that I mentioned earlier. New asteroid. They thought they were asteroids when they first discovered them. It was July, I believe it was, beginning of July. Anyway, they started multiplying. Like day 1 was 989, day 2 was 1,355, and progressively up to day 7 was 2,104. Day 9 I think was 4,000 and something, and then they're up to 7,000, which I think was last week. But they're all moving independently. They're all estimated to have 20 gigawatts of source power, as compared to Atlas, which has only got 10. And these are way smaller as well, so you can imagine the power inside. I think one of them said there's enough power in one of them to supply a nation. I don't know what nation they're on about, but they see them flying around there. On some of the slow-mos, you can see some going faster than others, whether that's part of this or not. There's one there, that goes pretty quick. But they all came away from, or following, the Atlas, the 3i. And that was their rendering of it, them heading toward Earth. Not scary at all. The reason none of the other telescopes, I think they said there was 220 telescopes can shoot good stuff like this. And the reason they didn't get this is because they can only do one at a time. Whereas a Rubin can do massive sweeps across the whole sky and gather all that information a lot quicker. Imagine how long it would take for a traditional telescope to capture all these. There's no way. It's absolutely fantastic. I've hardly seen anything mentioned about it. These were put through enhancers, but there's no point really. There's nothing you can do with them. Just show the movement. Here we go. This was 10 times slower and enhanced, but like I said before, there's not a lot of point. You can see some. Is that moving a little bit faster than that one? Appear to be there. I think there's so many more now than there were when this was taken. Oh, that's a fast one. Anyway, that'll do for that. A little bit scary and a little bit crazy. It's absolutely huge. Okay, this was photographed in Chile. I've got a couple of these. This one and one that's like a streak. It's moving quite fast. What do you think? Do you think that's it? They seem to think so. Just doesn't look like some of the other shots we've had, does it? Anyway, it is interesting. Let's have a look back. It's a bit slower. Interesting. How come they've got it as a moving object like this without a streak, whereas a later video from Chile, I'll just pop it up, this one, going across the screen that way, but long streak. This is the original. Difficult. Let's put an enhanced one on. There we go. Yeah. So what I find interesting about this one, it's segregation. It's there. Oh, damn. Which puts me in mind of the a post I saw where someone was saying, the tube shot, because it's moving so fast, you can see the sections of its movement, even though it's captured it really well. It's still got that. It's still making it elongated. Whereas the other one wasn't, was it? How can they be the same? That's a strange looking. I obviously flipping between inversion and not, just to see, really. There, look at them. That really is like it's moving in there, doesn't it? Let's play it. There it comes. Wish I hadn't done that now. It's a bit annoying, isn't it? Let's look back at that bit. Almost looks like an X-ray of it, doesn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put 12, 14, properly. That's a better shot. You can really see it there. I did another streak one, which was a lot more graphic, shall we say. And I really didn't want to go with it because I thought it was far too misleading. This seemed to be more like what you'd expect. To be honest, the other one a bit looked like the Japanese thing that came out, which I'll show you at the end. See, all the way along. Wow, it's really definite on that one. Okay, here we have the ESA footage that everyone was waiting for. I think it was on 3rd of October, its closest point to Mars, and it was able to film it with the TGO, which is the Trace Gas Orbiter. Terrific shots, best little render, really, I think. You see, move in. This is off the ESA website, but it was only in a small picture. It seemed to have removed the other one of them. I couldn't find it. The Tetris shape is what seemed to be pulling most people's attention, saying it's a thing. Look at it. It's a mechanical or space invader. It's actually not. But that shape there, zooming in at the side, we can grab it. That's what caught my attention on this. I thought, well, I need to have a look at that, slow that down a bit, get some renders going and get rid of this because it's not there. I'll tell you what, and I'll show you, because I did similar renderings on some of the stars that were cubes, and they stopped being cubes. Let's have a look at the before and after. This is just a quick example of the shapes there. You can see that. I think the model is doing that. But I'm not 100%. Not 100% about any of it, but I do know that is not there. I think the stars come after this bit. There you go. Look at that. And that shape comes in. It's pulling some colours out. It's finding stuff. You know, it's dragging everything it can. It's a pretty delicate enhancer, really. Up the scale, obviously. There it is. Because it's only a few frames, woo. You see like a repetition. It's maxing it, really. It's the best it can get out of the few frames that it's been rendered in. I'll show you the stars. Hang on a second. There we go. It's one of the stars right at the top, this was. But as you can see as it goes along, I've got that middle finger on it. I'm sure I've got a different one to this, but you can see there. Absolutely not in that, is it? Certainly more of an orb. So you always got a cube in the middle. Okay, here's one render I did. I've got a few models of these to do. I did quite a few, actually. Altogether on this project I did 300 gigabytes of data. That's around 30,000 files anyway, over 28 folders. So it's been fun putting it together, I can tell you that. See the shape there coming off that? That's obviously what it's feeling as a corona there. There's that thing up here. Let me get that back. There. That's still fast, isn't it? And where does it go? Really quick. There it comes. There it comes. Frame at a time then. Weird. In there? Do we see anything? Nope. But it has got a corona thingy. That's what it's trying to find. This line is across the original as well. No idea what it is. Let's look at the next render. Right, this this render has let's see, 120 frames a second. I upped it and 16 slow. I upped it to max it out, really. There's a point where it won't go any further, and I think I went way beyond that. Let's see if it moves. Didn't think it was as slow as that. I'll pull it along. Here we go. Right. A line. It's materializing. I'll let it run. Like that. Unless that's movement, you know, that's the form, and I mean, your guess is as good as mine. It's just finding what's in there. And pulling it forward side, it is really slow. I mean, you just notice the loop in it, where that's as many frames as it's going to give me. So giving 120 was just way over the top, but it'll cover it, won't it? Where does it go? There we go. I'll play that. Wow. Oh, was that dark there? Was that my eyes? Probably my eyes, sorry. Let's go back a bit. Frame at a time. yeah, let's see what was going on with this in the meantime. Can't see anything inside that, can you? But I'd say that was gaseous movement, wouldn't you? You can see the loop in it, where it's framed out. Technical term. See another one. I did another one which I used. Okay, this version might look a little weird, considering what we're looking at. It looks weird, but I used. I broke the film into frames and put them through a batch render in photo restoration, just to pull out even more if there was anything there and see what it gave us. And I was more interested in that thing at the side. Tell you what, let's look at that first. There it is. I know it looks weird, but I just thought it might just show and something else was happening. You can see a resonance or whatever around that, can't you? What does it look like a face there? There we go. Right, from that. It's a bit faster than the other one. Wow. Yeah, there's a cube. No, I think it's just the funnel, isn't it, of that gaseous form. Does it show us anything else? It shows you more going on the outside. I think that must be film error or something, isn't it? Would you say? I prefer the other one. I think this will be the last model I looked at. I don't want to get too close because I forget when you look at it on a bigger screen, it's might not be as good. No, I can't see anything else that we didn't see before. One thing there isn't, that's Tetris shape, is there? Right, let's have a look here. There it goes. I wonder where it gets that colour. Probably something to ignore. See, not much different to the other one, is it? But I see it disappear. Go. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Did want to come with them, and a few odd ones just to make it interesting. Because this has taken so long, I was going to wait for the first NASA picture to come out, 3i comes around the sun, as an update. But I've got it now. It came out this morning, and I've got it, and I'm going to show you now. Are you ready? Hold on to your hats. There it is. Yeah, I know. Not exactly overwhelming, is it? I'm sure they could do better than that. Enhancing wise, absolutely nothing. Except there was one. It was the with a deep render, and there's a little light in it, which wasn't visible on the others. So I don't know, but it's there. Crazy. I want to thank everyone for your wonderful comments and appreciation. It's super. And to everyone that's bought me a coffee, thank you so much. And hopefully the next post won't be too long. I'm on 5 night shifts a week, and time management has been an issue, let's say. Before I go, now I've finished, so I'm kind of catching up with all the 3i stuff. Any updates that come through, I'll hit it on straight away and post them as a quick short update. I haven't actually put all this together yet, so I don't know how long it's going to be. But until next time, thanks for watching.